I'd like to zoom back into some of the more immediate issues facing the military, sir. We've seen for the last few years a special focus on the optimization of the armed forces. The buzzword has been jointness for a very long time. The Tri-Services Act, has come up for discussion as well. Your view on that and the overall impulse for the military legal framework to get the armed forces to be, more synergized. Your view, sir.
I'm happy that you have raised that issue. I find it difficult to understand, comprehend, why is this sort of lethargy, if I can use for want of any other word, with insofar as matters of a uniform code of military justice. An impression had existed, which I tried to sort of sort it out, to explain that, well, we have tri-service organizations in the form of training, let NDA or a staff college or the embarkation headquarters or National Cadet Corps, etc. I told them that, look, they are all training establishments. They can do without a Tri-Service Act. But the day we had set up an Andaman Nicobar Command, the day we had set up a Strategic Forces Command, and such like tri-service force structures with the operational responsibilities saddled on them, it was time that we should have had efforts for a Tri-Service Act. Now, this has not happened so far. In the last couple of sessions, Inter-Services Organization Act was brought in. It has major anomalies. Like, say, for example, all three services would continue to exist. This act only would come into operation in relation to a tri-service force. Now, supposing there is a tri-service force and a person moves out from there to a normal Indian Army unit, and then his involvement comes to notice. What would happen? What was the authority of service chiefs? This act that has been passed by the Parliament has become a law, having received the presidential assent also. It is silent. It doesn't mention the three service chiefs as to what are their powers.
Important, yes.
It talks about Chief of Defence Staff. But what is the role, what is the authority? Because in an act like Army, Navy or Air Force Act, there have to be offences and there have to be authority provided. It does not equip the CDS with any clear authority. It also gives a status, the Service Acts give a status to a soldier at the lowest level by listing out his privileges. Now this act is silent. So look at the morale of a soldier. He says that this act, and it is the latest act, it is silent as to what are my privileges. For example, when he is going for an operation, he cannot be arrested. He cannot be taken into custody with regard to deficiency in regarding comprehending civil legislation. Now the act is silent on that. What would happen, the composition of a court-martial when it is dealing with certain accused persons belonging to different uniforms, Army, Navy, Air Force? The act is silent. So therefore it is something that has been hurriedly done without giving due thought, and the time has now come, on one hand, to have a full-fledged, comprehensive, all-embracing code of military justice, and simultaneously a review of the defense services regulations. These date back to 1987. Today we are in 2024. They do not have any provision of, say, cyber operations. They do not talk of climate changes. They do not talk about induction of women. And there are glaring shortages, absences in the regulations which were of 1987. They fail to address the demands and issues which a commanding officer at the unit level or an accused as a person facing the music is to contend with. So it is time that these military law provisions are given attention and time.
General Kumar, you've given us a great deal to think about, a lot of food for thought, and I always like ending an interview with the kind of prescription that you have just laid out for us. It's given us something to think about as well, whether or not you track the military. What's happening within the military is very much part of what we consume in the media on literally a daily basis. So, General Kumar, in the hope that this will be the first of many interactions going forward on these issues that require public attention because they are scarcely discussed enough, very grateful to you for giving us your time here on India Today, and thank you for being with us.
Thanks, and I congratulate you for this initiative.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.